The Raptors get the second one against the Charlotte Hornets, 124-114. Live from Real Sports, welcome to Raptors Tonight. I'm Randy Irvin, joined by Jevohn Shepard, Alvin Williams, and Sherman Hamilton. Sherman, I'll start with you. Offensively, I thought that.
Yo, why you always start with Sherman, dog?
He didn't even wait. He was right out the gate.
Go ahead,
Sherman and I have an understanding.
Okay.
You want me to go?
No, I
go it out. He'll say something, and you're just gonna be like, "No, that's not it, buddy. That's what I want."
My bad. Go ahead.
Offensively, I just thought that first quarter was one of the best first quarters they've had in terms of ball movement, sharing the ball, equal opportunity. Would you agree?
Offensively, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, we got to look at both sides of the basketball. It's not like Charlotte was shooting a shabby percentage. That's like the MVP conversation. Everybody wants to look at offense. But, yeah, offensively, they were great. I mean, how can you complain about the ball movement, the amount of people that are involved scoring the basketball, Pascal doing what he was doing, OG kept that hot three-point shooting. And it's an interesting word that you use with flow because it's a contagious thing. When that ball started popping, you could see everybody wanting to make the next play. And you don't get sticky fingers in those situations. You find the next positive movement of the basketball. And when they're playing like that, and I know it's Charlotte, and we're not going to try and make it seem like Charlotte is this defensive juggernaut, but it's about what the Raptors have to do consistently in order for them to continue to climb and get better. And that ball movement is part of their winning process, and they got to consistently do that.
So, I'll say this with that, right? You can see, and it goes off of flow, goes back to flow. There's not as much thinking anymore, right? Guys are more reactive, and even a guy like Scotty, who's taking a lot of scrutiny, and we've seen how teams have played him. They're giving him that Ben Simmons treatment, but now everybody's starting to find out their position on the floor, right? They're starting to feel more comfortable. Scotty's becoming more of a screener. He's playing at the elbow, facilitating, making plays, those inverted screens. And you can just see that confidence just starting to grow more and more and more. And now it becomes, like, shot making becomes contagious, right? Everybody's making shots, you're moving the ball, and I think when you get that, now you're getting everybody more engaged on the defensive end, right? And you're getting back to, the Raptors that we know, forcing turnovers, getting out and running, and just making simple plays, simple reads.
Yeah, Scotty was awesome again tonight. Al, do you have a rebuttal to any of this, or you just agree with what these gentlemen have said?
No, it's right there. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Everything is contagious. Ball movement is contagious. The challenge is always when it's near the end of the game, and then players want to make plays individually, or you're playing against a better defensive team. Like, for instance, when Charlotte picked up their defensive intensity in the second half, you wasn't seeing as much as paint touches, kick-outs, extra. It was more of a one-on-one straight line drives, which was needed at times because when they're pressuring you, you do have to drive the ball. You have to do certain things. But you said something on the show. You were like, you got to stick to your principles. You got to improve on your principles. And it can't just be a fly-by-night thing. So I think the Raptors, they did a great job. And to Jevohn's point, people are becoming more comfortable with their roles, right? Like their roles and what they're supposed to be doing.
So Pascal had his 50th career 30-point game, which ranks him 4th all-time in franchise history, which is great. Super efficient tonight, Sherm. Anything particular stand out about his performance?
The consistency that he's doing it with. Throughout this game, I'm watching it and I'm seeing them defend Pascal with a smaller body. And in my mind, I'm saying, just get on the block, throw the ball down there, and let Pascal just go to work on the block on these guys. But Pascal on the perimeter still gets to where he has to get to. So, you kind of just like live with it because he's so good. I will say this though. Pascal's ability to get to comfortable spots on the floor and make plays, like you don't see him uncomfortable anymore anywhere on the floor, off the bounce, when he's shooting it, whether it's a floating shot, it's a left-hand turnaround. He just has a level of comfort that he can get to his shot. It's dangerous when a guy that's that skilled offensively just feels confident he can do what he wants and get the job done, and he's just showing it, but he missed 2 shots. He missed 2 shots tonight. And the next step of a scorer is utilizing the free throw line. And he's doing that now. He's getting to the free throw line 10+ times. So
he's understanding the matchups, right? You mentioned him having smaller defenders on him and just punching it inside. But then, tonight he had a couple opportunities where P.J. Washington was on him on the perimeter, right? And I was laughing at it because Washington doesn't stand a chance with him on the perimeter, right? And you credit him because I think we're used to seeing Pascal the years past where he'd get into the paint and just start to spin, right? Get into a spin cycle, sometimes get himself in trouble. But now that he has a little bit to his handles, like he has a bit more in his bag, his package, he's getting into the paint, dribble moves, counters, and then using his length to finish, right? So you credit him for that because now that the arsenal is just growing bigger and bigger and getting to the free throw line, right? Scorers get to the free throw line, right? So that's big for him.
Now you said that spin cycle, so like you guarding Pascal, if he goes left, he's spinning back right to finish. Now, even when he goes left, he steps through now. Like he does a step through instead of turning his back. So to your point, like he's really grown his game, his offensive package. The next step for me is when you're a player like Pascal, whether it was Giannis, LeBron, like these guys that they play a certain way, now how can I still have my offense and I can't, like defenses can't like lock down on it. So I'm fearful if you go to the playoffs, you're going to build that wall around Pascal. Don't let him drive downhill. Same thing people did to Giannis. People start playing LeBron like that a little bit, like back off of him, let him shoot. But then now, like how do you get the ball behind the defense? Is it post-ups? Is it pick and roll action? Different types of action that could help him still be as effective, without always driving against five players.
I think the other element to that as well is you look at his assist numbers, right?
Yeah.
When he has bigger scoring games, his assist numbers are up as well.
Yeah.
So he's doing a better job of just slowing down the game and reading the game. Mm-hmm. They may not double him every night, but when they start to, those soft traps or, just showing two, he's also doing a good job making those reads and picking out the ball quick and making plays happen, right? So I think we're just seeing him evolve, seeing him grow, and it's such a stark contrast from, rookie Pascal. Pascal just 3 years ago.
Yeah. And Sherman, there's a real nice synergy between him and OG in terms of like equal opportunities to score that's developing, because early on in the season you saw Pascal get his and then OG kind of started slowly. Pascal went down with an injury. OG kind of took over. But now when you can get that kind of offensive production from both of them in the same game, you're laughing.
Well, they're making shots too. I mean, OG is so efficient with what he's doing, especially from the three-point line. I know it just sounds like it's a repetitive thing. It's a make or miss league. But when you're making shots and you're having 30-plus assists, the Raptors have had 62 assists in the last 2 games, 20 turnovers. They're making shots, and when you make shots, especially with a guy like Pascal who's going to play off of quickness and is going to be able to break people down, the second OG makes a shot, that opens a lane for Pascal the next time.
Yeah.
Right? And OG understands that he has to make the shot because that's going to relieve pressure off of Pascal. So there's a synergy there when shots are falling because everything's available. You can drive, you can kick, you can find teammates and they make shots, and that's the flow that you want. The Raptors aren't getting very many different looks than they were getting earlier in the season.
Yeah.
When that ball goes in, this is what you get.
Right. So that kind of goes hand in hand with this question from Grizzly Canuck, who's
That chicken wing didn't do anything to me. I apologize.
Dude, you just had a carrot too before that. I think that's the first time I've seen you eat a vegetable.
I'm about to have your carrot, dog.
You can do that.
The carrot is just a fake. It's just for when the cameras are on.
I'm starving, dog.
I see that. Grizzly Canuck, who's watching live on YouTube, says, has Precious's return and the team's overall health helped spread the floor more for the outside shooting? I think that's a good question.
I think his return, along with some of the other guys, hasn't necessarily spread the floor, but it's allowed the team to get some more rhythm, right? I think this is the healthiest they've been over the last stretch, and you're starting to understand how to play with one another, right? And again, those guys have been in that locker room together through all these adverse times when they hear all the noise, they hear all the chatter, and now they're finally out there fighting together, battling together. So I think that allows them to have that chip on their shoulder, and every one of them has had their moment, right? Fred has had his moment where everybody was down on him. Pascal's had his moment. Well, Precious had his moment. Gary's had his moment. Now you guys you're battling together. You're making shots, right? It's a world of difference.
Can I ask this? You guys can all jump in on this. Does Charlotte just not have the defensive horses, or do they just not care about defending? Like, what's going on there? Is this a cultural thing with them?
Well, they're missing 2 key guys.
No, I get that.
Gordon Hayward and Kelly
Oubre Jr., yeah.
And he was playing well this year.
Man, you act like they missing Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen.
Well, Dennis
Those guys
Rodman
are
and Scottie Pippen couldn't
offensive-minded.
play defense now. What I'm saying is, when you don't have your complete roster, the holes and they become more glaringly obvious. You know what I mean? They're probably not a good defensive team overall, but they're much different without some key guys who helped them on that end of the floor as well. But Charlotte has some work to do to get to a point where they're going to be a high-level competitive team. But that kid, LaMelo Ball, kid's special, man.
No, definitely. Definitely.
Can I just make a point about what Jevohn was saying?
Yeah.
When you're talking about the roster, there's a finality to it now. You're not sitting there waiting for guys to get healthy. You're not sitting there wondering who's going to be in the lineup, who's not going to be in the lineup. The players can say this is it. The coaching staff can say this is it until something changes. That releases a little bit of pressure now.
Yep.
You can just go out there and play. You're going to get your minutes. And we even saw Nick Nurse kind of change up the rotation. That first, second unit that came into the game, it wasn't Chris Boucher. It wasn't Precious Achiuwa. It was other guys.
Yep.
And now you can try things like that and see what you get early in the game because you have everybody at your disposal now.
Just to add to that, because I seen that lineup. What I like too is they went out there and played. It almost reminded me of college basketball, right? I don't know about VCU or Villanova. I don't know if you guys played any defense over there, but they
They
came
just won
out.
championships. Don't worry
Wow,
about it.
here we go. Here we go.
And don't get sanctioned by the NCAA.
Oh,
I heard something about
The
that.
acquisition. What?
No, acquisition.
Accusation.
Accusation. It's the truth. It's unfortunate.
I'm
but
gonna
it's
let
the
them battle it out.
Hold on,
I'm gonna let them do that.
hold on, real quick.
All right,
Come
you
on,
got
English
it.
professor.
I'm trying to help you.
Accusation. Accusation.
Okay, that's what I
Accusation.
said.
You know what I meant.
That's what I just
I had celery in my mouth, dog. The Q came out like the C.
shouldn't be talking with food in your mouth then.
All right, Dad. You know
That's
what?
the show,
They got
Sherman.
issues. They got
cool.
issues.
No, that's cool.
But they no, what I like what that group went out and did, they were like, they're playing some 2-2-1, like a soft 2-2-1 back to some 2-3, right? And then even in that second quarter when they went out, they forced 8 turnovers, right? So it's they're giving that first line a break, some rest. And you talk about, okay, you're going that last 2 minutes of the first quarter and then, open up the first 2 minutes of the second quarter. You're giving those starters like 10, 15 minutes of real-time rest, right? Going out and holding the fort. So you're right, it's refreshing to see too because it's just a different brand of basketball, just slowing down the game and then you're seeing the zone, you're seeing it working.
I will say this, though.
Yep.
I don't think Precious Achiuwa is helping space the floor. I think it's helping with everything else, but I don't think spacing the floor is one of them.
Okay, but good question still from Grizzly Canuck.
Yeah, it's a heck of a question.
Yeah. You mentioned LaMelo, special player. Real low release point on that shot. That's something like when you were coming up.
I'm not saying nothing about that man's shot. You see
No,
where he shot
I
that
know.
ball from? I'm not saying.
I'm just saying it's interesting how that is now an acceptable form of shooting. Are you surprised?
now?
It's not acceptable.
That wasn't traditionally
No,
taught,
it's
right?
not
You just gotta
acceptable.
make it. If you make it,
The
everything's
result is
acceptable.
acceptable.
You notice that anybody who can make shots, they don't really correct their shot.
Right.
Have you looked at Reggie Miller's shot?
Yeah, he keeps his hands
Because
together.
I'm saying the release
Larry
point.
Bird shot?
But the release point is up. Are you surprised that he's able to get that off?
Oh,
No.
So
it's
why?
efficient.
Okay.
His feet are together quickly, and through the collection zone, that ball is up and out.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I mean,
he
I
can
know the
shoot
answer.
it-
I'm just hoping the
he
people
can
at home
shoot
watching.
it from range. Like he's shooting it from deep.
Hey, if
That's how you
there's
shoot.
one thing he has like irrational confidence. So
Yeah.
anything he puts up, he believes. Like he just believes he's that guy every time he steps on the court.
Yeah.
Like you look at
Kinda
any,
is, though.
yeah, he
Kinda
is.
is.
You look
He's
at any of the
tough,
great
he's
shooters.
tough.
Steph Curry, his shot comes from here.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, I
he
know.
shoot the same way. Like, and I
He's
remember
sort of the original, a little lower than most guys.
he's
I
the
would say.
original. Are you going to sit there and say
I'm
he's
telling you, most
Steph-
guys bring it up here. Steph was the first
a
one spitting.
guy that just got in the NBA in 2012, 11. When is the original load?
The original load up.
I played against with somebody, Chauncey Billups, and I remember Butch Carter was the coach, and Chauncey never jumped, like tippy toe
Oh,
jump
yeah.
shot. And I remember Butch Carter's like, "Yo, you got to jump on. It's called a jump shot. You got to jump." Chauncey's like, "I'm not changing my jump shot.
Yeah.
I'm not." And
Did all right, didn't he?
And he did
Did
pretty
pretty good.
dang good.
Did pretty
so
good.
to Jamon's point, it's
make
that
it.
result. That result,
Make shots. Nobody's saying nothing.
Who had the prettiest jump shot between? This is a players only
I'm the best scorer.
show, right? We got all former players at
I'm
a
the
high
best
level.
scorer, but
Who's the best shooter?
I score. I'm just score.
You're the best scorer.
Just score.
Alvin played in the NBA.
I score. I score.
Scoring transfers all over. It's like an international language.
Yeah.
If you can score, you can score.
So you agree with him?
That is not true. That is so not true.
I tried.
You can't tell me if you can score, you can score
I tried to
anyway.
throw him a ball.
That's not right. You can't
Score.
score.
I know that much.
Y'all know each other all like that.
No, I'm just saying to what you said, that is not true.
If you can score the ball.
Not anywhere. There's levels to this.
You get locked up in the you could have a great.
So you saying he get locked up?
No. See, he's
I'm not
trying to
saying
turn you
that, man.
against
It's his
him.
first time on
Randy.
the show this year.
Randy.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Randy, you're better than that.
I'm just saying. So you don't think you have the nicest jump shot? Who's got the
No, I
nicest?
didn't say that.
You're a scorer.
Score.
Who has the nicest jump shot out of the three of you guys? Like aesthetics.
I'm be honest with you, dog. Where I'm from,
Doesn't matter.
and I hope this doesn't go in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh.
Being black, we wasn't really cool with having a jump shot. Like you had to have a handle. Like so it was like more of a really a race demographic thing. Like if you play in the city, like the rims, double rims, like it wasn't. So you didn't shoot. You
Maybe
play
It was
outside,
hard to
window.
make shot.
So you couldn't
Outside the
shoot.
wind for sure.
But if you can handle a ball,
You were like that.
but if you were a suburban kid,
Yeah.
or even like a white kid or something like that, you'd be like expect them to be able to shoot.
Right.
So I'm not gonna sit here and talk about I had a jump shot because I didn't. I had to work on it.
You had to work on it, yeah.
But that wasn't my motivation. My motivation was to try to learn how to dribble.
Okay. Well, I always tell the kids that
Could you shoot?
I could shoot and dribble though.
And you could
No,
dunk,
I just
right?
I asked a question. Can you shoot?
Yeah, I could shoot. I'm a little streaky, but I
You
could.
played above the rim too?
It's a lot of people relying
I
on
could
you
dunk.
to be the shooter.
I could dunk a little bit here and
We
there.
have that footage, right?
We have the footage.
We have the footage.
saw it.
Did
We
you
saw
see
it.
it?
We saw
I seen it. I didn't know if it was
so
him.
does that-
I don't know if it was him.
Question for you: does that qualify as playing above the rim?
No, that's not above the rim.
Thank you
Is
very
there
much.
anyone from the bar that
So
has
you
a
know
question?
the answer to the
That's not
question
above
you
the rim.
asked.
I was hoping we had some more
Anyone from
footage.
the
No,
bar
there's no
have-
foot. That's it. You saw
Is that the only clip?
that dunk that he
I
showed?
didn't.
You didn't see it?
No,
here?
Hold on, is that the only clip?
Yeah, that's the only time it was documented.
Oh, no.
I didn't see it. He dunked what?
I got it on my phone.
Did he get above the rim or
I
did he
got
hit the
above the
rim?
rim.
It was
Listen, you got to go 2 feet. I couldn't palm it, so I had to go 2 feet because I'm a 2-foot jumper, and I had to go up that much over the
You're
rim.
a 2 feet,
2-foot jumper.
2-foot jumper.
Yes.
So you jumped 2 foot,
Oh my
I
God.
jumped off 2
or
feet.
you jumped 2 feet?
No. I could listen. That's pretty good for 5'11" and a half. I'm not blessed like you. 6.
I mean, jumping. It doesn't matter if you're 7 feet. Like the high, it doesn't. That its height doesn't matter how high you jump.
But it certainly helps to be able to dunk if you're taller.
Yeah, it does.
you
I mean,
can't.
whatever you want. Are we losing control of this show?
No. Sherman,
It's been lost.
Sherman was fly guy. How was your jump shot?
My jump shot?
Yeah.
Solid.
Like pretty though?
It was, yeah, it's not like it was flyaway elbow or nothing like that. I had pretty good form.
Yeah.
great mechanics. The mechanics, right?
Are you setting something up? I see a
Just to
ball.
get
I
it-
see the hoop.
to-
What are you
No,
trying
I
to do?
want to see if there's anybody in the fans. You have a
You
question?
got to ask somebody if they had a question.
Come on, I have a question. Come on TV. Why not? We got a basketball
Nobody
here.
has a question.
Well, let's just see right
got a
now.
question?
Let's.
Come on, come ask a question.
Who's up?
Come ask a
on in.
question.
Come on in here. Get
That's
under,
what I'm talking about. Got to throw back Vince Carter.
There you go. Get in here. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I got a mic here for you. Right behind my back. There we go. What's your name?
Hi, my name's Judith.
Judith. This is Jevohn, Alvin, Sherman.
How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Meet you.
Same
You're
here.
a big Raptors fan. I see you with the
I
jersey.
am,
You're at the
yeah.
game tonight.
I was.
What's your question for these? I wouldn't call them experts, but just like guys I hang out with.
It was a good game tonight. My question would be, who do you think should have gotten more playing time?
Whoa, that's a good
That's a
question.
tough one.
I'll leave it to the experts.
That's a tough one.
I'm curious
I'll
to
let
hear
the
what
point
you guys
guards
have
take
to
lead
say.
on that one.
Sherm,
Who should have gotten more time?
more playing time. Who would you like to see get a few more minutes?
It was a 5-point game late in the game.
Yeah.
I want guys who are going to win the game to be in the game. I think Nick Nurse gave pretty much everybody a decent run out there. And when it came down to it, he needed his guys in to win the
Yeah.
game. So I can't say I wanted anybody else to play more. If it was a bigger margin of victory, then maybe you'd want to see some more out of guys. But to me, I thought Nick Nurse handled it well.
Yeah, I think it was a perfect balance to Sherm's point. And at this point, the key is just coming out with victories, right? And if it was a bigger margin, maybe Precious, just to get him those minutes, to get his win back, to get him, his rhythm. You can just see him out there as, as confident he's playing and playing well right now. He's still not completely there, right? Still sucking wind a bit. I think, those real time, those game time minutes would help him. But right now, the focus just got to be winning.
Mm-hmm. Rule of thumb: after a win, you never can question a coach's decision. You just got to ride with it. I mean, even if you're pissed off, you're mad, can't say anything. Just got to take it until you lose, and then maybe you can say, I should have got more playing time. But right now, you got to ride with the coach.
Yes, yeah.
You're right. I think those are good words of wisdom.
Awesome.
Something to live by.
Do you want to take a shot at the net? There's a little line there.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
if you make it, I'll get you a free appetizer and maybe a drink too. Who knows?
Sure. So where's the
This is what the show does now. We give people.
No pressure.
There's no pressure.
No,
go up to the line. Go up to the line. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, you can make that. Oh! All right, I'll give you another chance. Here we go. Okay, third
Well, I
time.
know we shouldn't have got more playing time.
There it is. You're over the line, but that's okay. You're still gonna get.
Well done.
All
You
right.
shouldn't have got more playing time with them two bricks. No, I'm joking. Good job.
That's not nice.
I'm just talking. Hey, hold on.
Thank you, Drew. That was awesome.
Nobody wants to come on again with that comment.
Yeah. Here, you want me to hear it?
Don't come on again, you freaking.
A little trap door.
No, come on again. You're not welcome.
You need to put food in your mouth and stop.
Yeah, come on, man. Be nice. I'm just kidding. That was funny.
Over there, John bricking.
Oh, that was funny.
Got a Vince Carter jersey bricking like that.
I want to ask one more question about Scotty because I love how he's playing in the pick and roll. I think the decisions that he's making when he gets in that spot are great.
Yeah, I think, right now he's playing off of the catch, right? And he's just being more reactive, and you don't see the wheels turning in his head anymore. And then just the positions I mentioned earlier that they're putting him in, he's becoming more of a screener, and then working a lot more in the elbow areas to, then get those inverted screens and make decisions there. So I think just the way he's playing right now, he's also adjusting to the way teams are playing him. And, just watching him work out before the game, that confidence is growing, right?
Yeah.
He's working with Rico Hines and instilling that confidence in him. But he's second year, 21 years old. Like, he's never been in this position, right?
Mm-hmm.
He never had to deal with this. So now, you're seeing him grow, right? You're seeing him build on it. And that's the most important thing, especially, after taking all the criticism he's taken over the last couple of weeks. Is he sophomore slump and lasting too long and all this criticism, all these questions? It's like, this guy's 21 years old. He's in the best league in the world, and he has so many tools. You kind of have to. You've used the first half of the season kind of to experiment where to really use him, right, and how to use him. Remember at the beginning of the year, there was that conversation of should Scotty be that primary ball handler. That wasn't. In my opinion, he's a forward.
Scotty brought that up. Scotty said he was a point guard at the beginning of the season.
Right. I think he got lost in I can make plays, but he's a forward that can really pass the ball and see over defense. So be the best of that, and then grow out from that, as opposed to, listen, to be a point guard, and you guys can speak to it, you got to have a certain skill set, right? And be able to get into defense and have counters, make plays, timing, and be poised. And that takes time.
I think Scotty, I look back to that game against Indiana where Miles Turner was about 10 feet off of him. And the next game, I forgot who they played next, but same kind of
Clippers.
defense. The Clippers, and Nurkic was deep in the paint on him. You can't be Scotty Barnes with that skill set, with that talent, and not
Zubac.
look at Zubac. You're right, the Clippers. You cannot look, you have to look at the rim. You have to put pressure on the paint. And he's so good and he's so advanced as a passer at such a young age. He's going to make the right decision a lot.
Yeah.
He's going to make his mistakes. He's young, but he's going to make so many good decisions off the pass. So to me, he got back to being that guy. Let's move towards the paint. Let's move towards the rim. I might not score, and a lot of times he's in there wheeling and dealing to find teammates, but that type of offensive pressure creates for his teammates, and that's all he has to do. Just do not allow teams to defend you 10, 15 feet away because they're not guarding you and they're standing in the paint.
And I like what the adjustment they made, just he was doing during those games. He was doing a lot of dribble handoffs. Now he's doing pick and rolls. So now he's rolling towards the basket instead of going east-west. He's going downhill, like without the ball. So he's either he can finish or he can make that pass outside or opposite. Now the defense, you can't sit back because he's coming towards you now. So that was a good adjustment.
I think the moral in all that is just being aggressive, right? Remember, you have somebody that's 5 feet off of you standing under the paint. They're a statue. Attack them, right? At that point, that's a foul or a basket regardless. But if you're apprehensive and you're standing there, you're looking around, and you're thinking what to do, you're playing into exactly what they want. So regardless, you've got to be aggressive.
Yeah.
Scotty has one of the best shots, that push shot.
Yes.
About 10
great
feet,
touch.
8, 10
Great
feet.
touch.
And in that short roll, screen and roll scenario where he's rolling short, he could be lethal. Because if you want to hang around the basket, he can push that shot from 8 feet over the top. If you want to come meet him, he'll go around you and make a play. So he's already mastered or has a real good grasp on that push shot. If he stays aggressive, it's going to be a nightmare.
And you saw some tonight where he even finished at the rim. Like Fred held it and threw it up.
Yeah.
And he was like, got some alley-oop, didn't dunk it, but it was alley-oop lay-ins, right? So you're 100% right.
It's tough when you have so much talent and you're learning how to, you don't know how to play
Utilize
with it all.
it.
That's what you said. You have to master what you got, right?
First.
Like, I'm this. And then,
expand
everybody
a little
has to expand it. Like your
Yeah.
coaches, your player, like you most importantly, but you have to expand it, but hone into what you are, like what you have, the value and the greatness of what you do, which is facilitating, being able to finish, being versatile. And then it goes to the three-point line. Then it goes to this, and then it goes to that. So
I still think his biggest skill, his biggest asset is like his enthusiasm and how infectious it is to his team. Like when he's out there and playing with energy, he has this ability to just draw in everybody on his team to play at that level. And that's before you talk about his passing. That's before you talk about his length, his athleticism. Those guys actually feed off of him. And that to me is huge because that's innate, right? You don't get that with everybody.
but that's the hardest thing, right? Because it's not basketball related. It's like who you are.
Yeah.
And when you get into this game and you start being criticized and you're not feeling great after 40 games or like, can you still keep that?
Sustain that
I
at
mean,
this
because
level.
that's a part, like you said, it's infectious.
Yeah.
It's like something that people rely on. And a lot of times, people don't do that. Like if you're having a hard day or the game's not going your way or it's not easy or it's just becoming repetitive, now your energy level. So that really has to be you. Playing with y'all remember JYD.
Yep.
Like, he always had that.
See,
like,
I always wonder, was it real? Was that?
It was real.
That's
Like, it was
crazy.
real. Annoying sometimes because you had to be on it.
Frustrating for coaches, right?
Yeah, you had to be on it, but he brought it every day.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you be like, yo, JY, oh come on man, I don't feel it today. Come on, Bug. Come on, like he would jump up, throw his jersey into the shirt into the, like he would do that every single day, right? So that was who he was.
Tough. That's real. That's tough.
All right, great stuff, guys. Going to stop it there. Next game for the Raptors, Saturday night at the arena, 7:30 p.m. is the tip against the Atlanta Hawks. And don't forget, come by Real Sports and join the show, be a part of the show. We'll be live streaming on YouTube, taking your questions and comments as well. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.